Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. If you guys are new, hi, what's up? My name is Hannah, and today I'm going to be answering a question that I've been asked so many times over the past year. I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I graduated high school at 16 years old. For my specific situation, I'm going to explain to you guys how I did it and hopefully give you guys some encouragement and maybe some tips. You guys might see me look down quite a bit because I have all my notes on my iPad. But before we get on with this video, don't forget to go subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. And also at the end of this video, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts if you have any questions, and I would love to chat with you guys. I've had people ask me this question on Instagram, in my YouTube comments, people that I know in person, teenagers, parents. They're always asking, how in the world did you finish high school at 16? Are you crazy? Why aren't you going to college? So today I'm going to be answering all those questions for you guys. But before we do that, I feel like I need to give you guys a little bit of backstory so you guys have a better understanding of my family and my situation and how I was able to do this. First of all, as you guys know, I have 4 older siblings. I have my oldest sister and then 3 brothers. When my parents got married and started thinking about kids, they always knew that they wanted to homeschool. They didn't really know why, because where they lived in that time, homeschool was not that popular and almost looked down on. Either way, my parents knew that they didn't want to put their kids into the public school system. They didn't know at the time how they were going to do it, but they were very determined. They started doing research and figuring it all out, and then my older sister came along. My sister, the firstborn, was a fast learner, loved doing school, and honestly I think was just the easiest to teach. My sister is now a certified special education teacher and runs an online tutoring business. So yeah, she kind of found her calling. Anyway, my mom found curriculums online and bought so many books we lost count. Then my 3 brothers came along, and with them it was a little bit of a different story. They, being boys, did not like sitting for long periods of time reading, writing, and doing school. But it wasn't just that, they had a much harder time learning. All 3 of them are super smart and driven, but did not like reading and writing. We found out later that they just had some learning challenges. Either way, my mom had to change her teaching style to better suit them and how they learned, and she did. She found new ways of teaching that worked for each of them specifically. Now my oldest brother is working as a machinist. My middle brother is in his last semester of automation and control. He specializes in anything electronics, including robots. And my youngest brother is starting his 2nd semester in diesel mechanics. My point is, even though their ways of learning was different and uncommon, it worked out for the best, and they're now learning things that they're passionate about. Then I came along. I was not like my brothers or my oldest sister. I was smart and I didn't mind reading and writing, but just in school in general, I did not have the drive to sit and learn. I would have much rather spent my time making cardboard stables for my Schleich courses. At some points, my bedroom floor was covered in a whole cardboard farm, and the fences were made out of popsicle sticks, and I would dry out grass and like tie them together and make little hay bales and all kinds of stuff. Either way, I was very creative, and honestly I would have much rather worked on something like that than school. Honestly, I just felt like there was always something better that I could be doing. Unlike my 4 older siblings, I have never had the desire to go to college or university. I don't ever remember being a time in my life, even when I was younger, that I was like, I want to go to college and, you know, have the college experience. I never had that desire, even though all 4 of my older siblings are either in college or graduated. I believe, and I believed then, that I could achieve my goals without going to college. I'm a self-learner. If I wanted to learn a little bit of sign language, I would. If I wanted to learn some Mandarin, I did. And if I wanted to start a YouTube channel with absolutely no experience, learn to edit on a professional software, learn to use a camera, do photo shoots, model, etc., I did. I do also want to put in here that both of my parents were incredibly supportive in the fact that I didn't want to go to college and I wanted to learn and work on other things, even though it is more uncommon and unconventional, the things that I like to do and the way that I like to learn. They're just fantastic parents and support me in all of my business endeavors. So now the question is, how did I finish high school at 16 so I could focus more on my future and achieving my goals, as well as without college? The first thing is being homeschooled. I know obviously for the majority this is not an option, but I do know that a lot more kids are being homeschooled now. I think the top pro for homeschool is the flexibility in schedule and what you're learning and the courses you're doing, how you're learning. There are websites and courses and classes for every type of learner out there. semester. For example, I did a couple classes on Monarch, and that was one of my favorite sources to use for learning was Monarch, so I really enjoyed that. But then again, I do want to put in there that homeschool obviously isn't for everybody. I know a lot of people do need that social interaction every day and can't even imagine doing homeschool, but for me it's obviously all I've ever known. But I've also never had the desire to go to public school, just because, again, like I said, I'm a self-learner. I like learning on my own. Another decision you would have to make is decide what your future goals are, if that is going the college route, doing an internship, non-credit courses, or getting a job directly. Another thing you would have to do is see what your state requires for graduation based on the college or non-college track. So for this, obviously my mom did research to figure out what I needed to finish high school, and then she curated my classes and everything that I needed to do so that it suited me so I could finish high school early and obviously graduate. I personally was on the non-college track, so I completed the required credit hours for the mandatory courses in order to graduate. So if you want to know how many credit hours for the mandatory courses you need in order to graduate according to your state, you can totally just go ahead and look that up. For example, in my state, I required to finish math through algebra 1 and geometry. I didn't have to do algebra 2 and beyond like my siblings in order to go to college. Another great thing about my homeschool was the fact that my electives were based on things that I was interested in. Another thing you need to successfully homeschool, I'd say, is motivation. I think I've always had a lot of motivation just because I've had an image of what I want my life to look like in the next couple of years, and I have so many goals that I want to achieve. Obviously motivation comes and goes. I'm not always motivated and productive, but I always have in the back of my mind that dream world, that dream life that I want to have in a couple of years, and I know what I need to do to get there. So yeah, anyway, homeschool obviously helped me in that because I was basically able to choose how I spent all of my time besides obviously mandatory courses and, you know, learning, reading, writing, math, etc. Other than that, I was able to focus on the things that I was interested in. So yeah, anyway, homeschool was obviously the best option for me. So now the question is, where am I now? What am I doing with my time? And how in the world am I going to be successful without going to college? So I'm currently 16, turning 17 in a couple weeks, and I've done a 6-month-long paid internship. I did that in the first 6 months of 2022 and have now started my first official online job. I might talk more about that in a later video if you guys are interested. I'm also working on 2 online courses on Udemy to further my knowledge in subjects that I'm interested in. I'm also obviously doing YouTube because I love doing it, and I've been doing it for 5, almost 6 years, and I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. I hope to take this next year to continue making connections, working with different people, and always learning. This was obviously a pretty unconventional way of doing and finishing school, but guess what? Everybody is different, and not everybody wants to go to a 2, 4, or 6 year college. I want you guys to take this video as encouragement to pursue your dreams, even if it's unconventional, and I know that it's going to work out for the best. Even if it's not according to my plan that I have now, I do know that my life is going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. Work hard for what you want, and remember that God has a perfect laid out plan for specifically you and your future, which is honestly a pretty great thing to think about because that takes a lot of stress and worry off of our shoulders. Do your best, work your hardest towards your goals, and trust that everything happens for a reason and everything will work out perfectly according to God's wonderful plan that He has for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to go down below and subscribe to support me. And if you guys have any questions at all about anything in this video or something else, please go to the comments and write out your question. I would love to talk with you guys, or if you want to, you can also DM me on Instagram. I reply to all my DMs. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was encouraging for you, because honestly this is something that I feel passionate about, because a lot of people don't go the route that I'm going, but I'm so happy that it's becoming so much more common now, and it doesn't seem as crazy to not go the college route. Know that there are other options. So yeah, do your research and don't give up. Even if it gets hard and you're not motivated, you can do it. And anyway, that's where I want to end this video. Thank you guys for your continual support, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye!